I think it's a little premature to go with those. We're talking about Isaiah and Dumars, fine. Talking about Steph and Clay, fine. We've seen that. They got the credentials. We got shiny rings. We got all kinds of things. We got historical perspective. We got some distance from it. I think we may be too premature in the moment looking at Luka and Kyrie as the best backcourt ever, especially when they haven't won anything yet. And I say anything yet, maybe I should just say they haven't won anything, because I don't think this series is going to go well for them as a collective. I mean, they'll put up their numbers. They always do. Luka has the ball in his hands. He's going to have a double or two in this series. That's just how he rolls. I don't really love the matchup for the Mavericks. What do you see? I mean, I know they've improved defensively with their midseason acquisitions. I love the way these guys are playing off of Luka and Kyrie. I saw a play in the Minnesota series. It was Game 5, and Luka even started laughing at one point because he goes to the basket. He's not even looking. He just throws the ball up early, expecting one of those big guys to come in and dunk it. They mistimed it. It went off the backboard. The player got the ball anyway and still dunked it. And Luka started laughing because that's really that's been a lot of their offense in the postseason. They lead all postseason teams in dunks. They've been doing some work in the paint because of Luka and Kyrie, but I don't like the matchup. How about you?
I think this is going to be one of those styles make fights. This is like Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield. You know what I mean? Like, this is literally, the bruiser against the puncher. And I think this is going to be an exciting one. And I don't think it's a bad matchup for Dallas, at least from this point. They have the size, and they have two elite shot makers on the perimeter. And I know Boston has great switchable defenders. You can switch Derek White, you can switch Drew Holiday, you can switch Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. All those guys are adept, right? But do you want Jaylen Brown using all of his energy on Luka Doncic? With Luka, with that 240-pound frame, dipping his shoulder into you when you know you're going to need Jaylen Brown's offense. You can't put Derek White on him because he's too light in the pants. You don't want to put Jayson Tatum on him because you don't want to get him in foul trouble. I'm thinking say Denver. Boston has to make a choice and say, are we okay? Is this an acceptable amount of scoring that we can give up from Kyrie or Luka and try to double the other? Because Boston doesn't like to double. And that's everything that Luka loves to do, is create the double teams, to create the advantages on the backside. And if Boston doesn't double, that's going to be not good for the Celtics. As great as they are defensively, I don't know if that's good. And Luka can hunt those switches. So you put Al Horford out there, lunch meat. What's the Luke Cornett? Lunch meat. This is not a great matchup in that way for the Celtics. I'm not sure who will win or lose. I'm still kind of straddling the fence a little bit, but I don't think this is a bad matchup in the way that you think. I think your green-colored glasses, I think Lucky has gotten to you.
Yeah, well, Lucky probably has gotten to me a little bit. I would say the reason I think it's a bad matchup is defensively. Now, you just talked about all the problems, and I agree with you, all the problems that Luka presents offensively. I mean, he's a guy who will find any kind of mismatch. He'll find you, even we usually say this about sometimes quarterbacks. They'll throw you open, or when you're covered, they still get the ball to you. So Luka is like that too, especially finding dudes in the corner. Like I could just watch all day some of the B-roll of Luka standing there with the ball, then all of a sudden whipping it across the court, and the ball just kind of sails past somebody's fingertips into the hands of a waiting defender in perfect shooting position, and they pop the three. So he is really good at that. What he's not good at is defending. I've watched him the entire postseason. It's a marvel to me, Vinny, that a guy who is not 100%, who has told you he's not 100% right now in the postseason, is not a great defender when he is 100%, has been able to get by playing some version of off-ball linebacker and free safety. Not even one of those strong safeties crouching up to the line to give you 8 in the box. He's just kind of like free safety, center field, kind of stepping in the paint, stepping out. I just think the Celtics are going to have a good time attacking Luka and attacking Kyrie defensively. I think it's just a bad defensive matchup for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't see any way out of it.
I think you're not giving Luka the credit that he has warranted defensively. One, the more increased physicality allows him to use that frame where he could get in the way of Jaden McDaniels or get in the way and plug holes when it came to Anthony Edwards. Like, he ain't stopping nobody. Like, let's be clear, right? But Dallas has such a strong team defense with length at the rim and length on the wings with Derrick Jones Jr. and PJ Washington, two excellent additions to this roster this year. Like, you don't have to stay with a guy the whole way. And here's the other thing. Let's be perfectly honest. The Celtics do not have a blow-by-you guy. Like, Jayson Tatum gets to the bucket, but he's not first stepping you to the bucket. You know what I mean? Jaylen Brown is probably more athletically inclined in that way, but he's not a pum type of here you see me, now you don't type of athlete. So while I think that Luka will have some problems there, I do think that Dallas will try to hide them. I think this is as evenly a matched series as you can expect. And here's the other thing about this that I don't think we've given Dallas the credit for just yet. Think about the teams that they beat. They beat 51 team Clippers, right? Championship aspirations. The number 1 seed, Oklahoma City Thunder, 57 wins, right? Championship aspirations, even though a lot of us thought that they were too young. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that knocked off the champs in their home building. So you beat 3 50-win teams on the road to the finals.
Yeah.
I think how you get there and who you beat says a lot.
That's true. But I'm going to tell you this. I got in my 50s, I got a sore finger here. I got a sore finger here. It's a little bent up. It's sore. My knee hurts right now. I'm just like, just got some aches and pains. I need like shoulder massages and foot massages just to get myself right. So I'm 54.
You letting somebody touch your feet? You got fetishes?
Only one. Why is it a fetish?
I'm not a feet person. I don't like feet. Keep it away from me.
Okay. They're part of the body. It's a part of the body. It's like it's your hands and your legs and your feet. I mean, like, come on. It's a part of the body. Why do people call it a fetish? Why are we making this thing weird? Anyway, that's a different show for a different time. It's a different show for a different time. But I would say this. My point is, at 54 and you approaching 40 very rapidly, if we play in 2-on-2, I would take me and you. I'll go down and take on some 23, 24-year-olds and feel very good about our chances. Why? Because we got experience. And they got the athleticism, we got experience, and they should beat us, but they don't know what they don't know. And we're gonna do some give and goes on them. We're gonna run. So eye contact, okay, throw it over there. It's just experience will beat you. So Dallas, yes, I'll give you credit for going on the road. I'm not going to give you credit for beating the Clippers. It's the Clippers, Lord. Wow. Kawhi Leonard. Oh, did Kawhi Leonard play? Oh, no. Once again, you kidding me? Kawhi Leonard didn't play? What? Kawhi Leonard's hurt? Anyway, they beat the Clippers. No credit there. OKC, much respect. Number 1 seed, they don't know what they don't know. I love their future. They're present right now. Just not ready yet. Not mature enough. Same thing with Minnesota. Minnesota's immaturity showed in the 5 minutes after their Game 7 win, where Anthony Edwards goes on TNT and says, "Oh yeah, Kyrie, I want to see how we do. Hey, him and me. That's my matchup." Come on, bruh. That's just inexperience.
You had a problem with that? You had a problem with that?
Not as a journalist, I didn't. As a journalist, I loved it. As a storyteller, I loved it. But, hey, right now, who's talking trash right now? You've noticed Dallas and Boston, rose petals back and forth. Kyrie, hey, I learned some lessons in Boston. Jayson Tatum, oh, I have fond memories of those 2 years with Kyrie. No, you don't, Jason. No, you don't. The first year, Kyrie, he played 60 games. It was great. Then he was out for the playoffs, and you guys went to game 7 without him. The second year, he tried to do Joker walking away from the hospital and Batman. Blew up the thing. Hey, did I do that? That was Kyrie in Boston in year 2. It was a disaster. It was a dumpster fire. You didn't enjoy it. Nobody enjoyed watching it. Other teams in the NBA, your opponents felt sorry for you. So look, they're doing that thing that they're supposed to do because they're smart. But, you know, the experience of Dallas is what impresses
experience
me.
does Boston have? Explain to me this great one. They've been there and lost, right? Like you can go there and continue to lose. Like what is the experience unless you win?
I haven't seen a lot of that. I haven't seen a lot of people who go and continue to lose. I've seen some examples. You know, we know that Utah did it against Michael Jordan. Went there a couple of times and lost. Portland did it. Went a couple of times and lost. But I know some teams who have gone there. Your Detroit Pistons, again, to bring this full circle before we take a break. Your Detroit Pistons went there, lost to the Lakers, and that pain.
Got
robbed.
Stolen.
Yes, they did. They did. Game 7. That was bad.
Yeah, robbed in game 6. The phantom foul that wasn't on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then in game 7, they just decided to let the fans storm the court. It was January 6th, except it was June 21st, 1988. Can you believe that shit?
I can. Yes, I can believe it. But the pain that the good teams, and I think I'm putting the Celtics in that category. You know, we'll see. We'll know later this month whether I'm right or wrong. I think they're the team that goes and loses, feels the sting of it, and then comes back and corrects it. Some teams feel that sting, and they go back and feel that sting again, and they're just not able to overcome their limitations. I just think the Celtics are the superior team.
5. Oh, my Lord.
I think they're the superior team. I think they are a superior team to the Dallas Mavericks.
So you think this is
the
as
Mavericks
big a
are a good
mismatch?
team.
No.
Yeah.
So you think this is as big a mismatch as last year with Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets beating the Miami Heat, the same Miami Heat team that lost in the NBA Finals in the bubble, that had the pain of losing and came back a couple years later to use your theory.
Didn't have enough.
And they came back and lost.
They're that team. See, I'm not surprised by that because I don't think Miami is a championship team. Like
okay, now answer me this.
Pat Riley said Jimmy Butler is the X factor and getting Jimmy back and getting him playing. If you get Jimmy Butler back, I do not think the Miami Heat are a championship team. I think the Celtics are.
Okay. Now I will lend you on this. I will end you on this. You are a NBA historian just like I am. Now, if you would agree with me that the best player on the floor in this series is Luka Doncic, right? I think we're in agreement that Luka Doncic is better than Jayson Tatum or Jaylen Brown, right?
Offensively.
No, don't parse it. Who's the better player?
Okay, no, I don't. I don't I think Tatum's better. If we're going to look at the whole thing, I think Tatum is better. Luka, how are we just going to shrug on defensive impact? How are we going to shrug that away? Luka is a better offensive player than Jayson Tatum. Yes. But in totality, I'm sorry. I got to have more than that. You got to give me more than just holding the ball at all times and racking up triple doubles because you got the ball all of the time. You got to give me something on defense. And this is his first trip to the NBA Finals. Jayson Tatum is criticized for going to too many conference finals and not delivering. Luka just finished his second conference finals. They're the same age. So what are we doing here? Luka has played with Kyrie. Luka has played with Kristaps Porzingis. If he's supposed to be some transformative player, then aren't we judging him on winning too? Don't you have to impact winning?
Well, I mean, you said it yourself. You say it all the time. The Boston Celtics are a historic organization or a well-run franchise. The Dallas Mavericks have not always been. They are right now with Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd there, but they haven't always been. They've had drama there. It took them a few years to get it right. So Jayson Tatum has benefited from the organizational structure and the history and the ethos of the Boston Celtics. That hasn't been the case in Dallas. And I would tell you this, you name me a better series win that Jayson Tatum has on his playoff jacket than Luka Doncic when he took down the #1 seeded 60-plus win Phoenix Suns to get to the Western Conference Finals in 2022, blowing them out on their home floor in Game 7 with a 40-piece. Name me something that Jayson Tatum has done. Now, I know he got that 50-point game against the Philadelphia 76ers, but it's the Philadelphia 76ers. Tell me the signature suitable for framing series win that ranks.
Well, who the hell is Phoenix? Who are the Phoenix
Phoenix
Suns?
went to the finals. Philadelphia hasn't even been to the conference finals. They haven't been to the conference finals since my black ass was in high school. Okay?
Right. So how about
I was in
Milwaukee?
high school. You just put my age out there. You put my age out there. So now we can say that Vinny's damn near 40. Philly was last in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2001. Okay.
So I'll say another great win was against Milwaukee when they were down 3-2. And the year after Milwaukee won the championship, so 2022, so I think the same year, right? They're down to Milwaukee 3-2. They have to go to Milwaukee for a Game 6, and everybody's getting Bucks in 6. You know, the crowd, they get Bucks in 6. And he puts up, I think it was close to 50 points in that game to save their season. They come back home and win Game 7, which propels them to the conference finals. And
there's no Chris Middleton there, but I'll cede you that. I will call a draw, but there was no Chris.
But I will say this. I will say this as we get ready for Natalie Esquire coming up after this music. I will say this, man. The #1 story here is somebody's going to win the NBA championship. But the #2 story is somebody is going to change their reputation after this. It might be if Jayson Tatum and the Celtics win, maybe Tatum is considered the better player. I'll agree with you. Most of America doesn't. Most of basketball America agrees with you. They think Doncic is clearly better than Tatum. That could change. And then if Doncic and Dallas win, hey, we ain't talking about Luka's defense. We ain't talking about that. Hey, Luka is now, we're having a conversation. I can predict the headline now. Is Luka Doncic the face of the league? We'll have those conversations. This is all at stake. Starting on Thursday, NBA Finals, and you're in Boston. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.